Okay, we're gonna do a hopefully quick iPhone 6 Plus Touch IC today. This one just walked in the door. Used to be we would tell customers, give me a few days to get this knocked out for you. But these have gotten so quick. If it comes down to it, I'll do it while you wait. If you want to hang out in the shop for 45 minutes or an hour while we test everything. But this customer just dropped it off and should be picking it up this afternoon. So let's get it fixed. There is our U2402 Mason codename Touch IC, Texas Instruments 343 S0694. Big deal, right? This guy's good, he can read numbers. Now we'll get the cancer fan on. Here we go. Hopefully the noise gate and compressor are working properly, or at least sort of okay. Perfect. Perfect timing. Even better, a spam phone call. Hi, this is Ann. I'm calling to let you know. I started blocking the numbers, and it seems like I'm getting more calls now that I started blocking the numbers that are calling. Okay. Old one is up. I moved all my stuff around, so if I look disoriented, it's because I totally am. Totally disoriented, man. Doesn't need to be 450. 375 is fine. Alright, we're gonna pull all the old solder off. Well, not all of it, but most of it. Get some nice even looking pads here. A little bit more flux in there to work with. Yeah, I'm gonna be fumbling around a little bit. I need to find all my little supplies here. Supplies, mother. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best. This might become a cursing stream. Alright. Cheap leaded Radio Shack solder. It's great. I think I got this roll of solder probably 6 or 7 years ago, before I even owned a decent soldering iron or a microscope. I've been using this exact roll ever since. It works great. Alright, these ground pads are taking a little bit more solder than the stuff around them. I'm going to be really careful here, but I'm going to preheat this board a little bit while we do this, just to encourage even flow here. Ooh, is that a pulled pad? It is. It sure is. Looks like an NC pad to me. Yeah, that or ground. That'd be a ground pad. I know how to find out though. That is this one. NC. No big deal. Didn't want that pad anyway. Alright. Step 2 is we're gonna scrape a little bit of material off the termination point of this surface trace. This is the M1 pad. You can see it's loose. Might be hard to see on this crappy microscope camera, but when I tap the pad, it wiggles. Wiggly pads are bad pads. If it stays put, great. If it comes off while we're making the jumper, no big deal. The jumper's going to be doing all the work from now on anyway. I'm completely disoriented with my stuff moved all around here. I'm using the thinnest braid I have, pull a wire out of it and make a jumper. That's good right there. Alright. See that? Alright, let's put a smaller tip on the iron. A little bit more flux. I'm going to clean up this flux before the new chip goes down. You get too much flux under there, it really will hold heat and it'll cause the CPU to overheat just because of the ambient temperature around it. And you'll get this mysterious boot looping symptom. Especially since iOS 11. It just pulls considerably more amperage during boot, generates more heat on the processor anyway. So if you have something like a giant pool of flux directly across from it on the opposite side of the board, it's just holding shitloads of heat. Oh, there's one curse word. If I start a swear jar, what do I do with it? Does it go to charity? Do I put it up front in the employee tip jar so that they can buy themselves a lunch? I suspect if I do that, there'll be nothing but free lunches around here. This thing is just fighting tooth and nail, isn't it? You live here now. Okay. It's on this side now. Alright, up next, we're gonna make a nice little bend here. That looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the excess right now. want to jump all the way over to that M2 pad on accident. Nice little pretty L-shaped jumper. I was watching somebody's video the other day, and they made a jumper from here, and they went all the way around this resistor and came around the backside. I don't have a problem with that, except for you're really giving yourself a lot of opportunity to short M1 against this resistor on both sides. You're using an insulated wire, alright, but man, that's also a lot of effort going into making what I think is one of the easiest jumpers to make on this phone. Just tack it in place. Let's turn it around. A little better angle from this way. I always work on 6 pluses upside down, except for this part. But now the whole jumper came out. Man, this thing is just fighting the whole way. Okay. That's not yet. It's close. Let's hold it. Let's just hold it down. Not good. Okay. Is that connected? Yeah, it's connected. And then they'll both kind of slide into place once the hot air gets to it. So, as promised, let's clean up some of this flux. We'll put a little dot of fresh flux down before the reballed chip goes back on, but I don't want a giant pool underneath here. For other reasons besides heat, that's the most pressing one, because that's the one that'll get you a comeback. People generally are not happy with their repair if the phone doesn't even work, because it's constantly boot cycling in their hand. Also, we're going into summertime in South Louisiana, where average temperatures are going to be in the 90s every day. So if this is sitting inside your car, it's subjected to well over 100, 120 degrees. Alright, just drying up some of the alcohol. Just a real gentle with the hot air here. I don't want to reflow anything, melt any solder. Just drying up the alcohol. Okay. Set this to the side for now. Next project is to reball Touch IC. Unless you damage it during removal, there's nothing wrong with this Touch IC. It's a fine working Touch IC. The whole problem is that loose pad that we just repaired. That's what has always been the problem. It just kind of took a long time to figure that out. We were replacing Touch ICs, we were replacing Cumulus and Mason, we were putting hard shields on the back, which isn't generally, that one's not a bad thing. I don't do it anymore because it doesn't affect the future functionality of the Touch IC repair, and it's just an extra step, it's extra work at this point. Repairing the pad with a nice kind of flexible jumper is the whole repair. It's an effective fix. I've really not had any comebacks, at least for Touch IC. Every once in a while you'll get an ancillary problem that doesn't show up right away while you're testing it. want this chip to be nice and dry when we're reballing it. I don't want any extra flux on there. I don't want anywhere for the solder paste to want to migrate to. Solder paste has flux in it already. It's got all the flux it needs. So we're not going to give it any extra. Okay. This was a good move. I'm happy about this. Just congratulating myself on putting things where I can find them easily. This week I've spent just as much or more time reorganizing my work area as I have actually working. So it's a little obsessive compulsive. So if I zone out and start cleaning my microscope with alcohol in the middle of a repair, don't be surprised. So I'm getting some nice. I like the paste that is not sitting in a pool down in the bucket too. I like the paste that's dried out a little bit. Too much liquid, too much flux, really just really makes this whole thing unnecessarily difficult. I'm sure the oh man, see, I'm gonna ZXW the whole time. My bad, my bad. Okay, that's better. And let's adjust the focus. Nope, not that way. There we go. Trying to adjust the camera focus with a delay is tough. I'm not running direct to HDMI. I can only see the camera through the streaming software. So there's like a, I don't know, 1 second delay. We'll be working on the whole setup here as things progress. Alright, there goes my balls. Sitting on the top of the bed, watching my balls float away. Alright, so that looks kind of messy right now. Let's hit it with hot air again. You can see some of that paste still worked its way underneath the stencil. That's probably because I went in a little too fast. Let's inspect these balls real good. You gotta inspect your balls. Don't ever assume your balls are fine. See here, I told you I was gonna clean something. Just doing future Aaron a favor by cleaning off the stencil while the flux is still kind of warm and gooey, instead of letting it crystallize. Okay, there's a couple little minuscule solder balls still floating around between there. We can clean that off pretty easily, just so they don't end up accidentally bridging something. Chances of that happening are pretty low with a paste ball that size, but still better off making it pretty. Alright, let's see the other tweezers. Oh, it sounds like we're having trouble with the credit card up there. Alright, so we're going to focus out a little bit and just kind of look down the whole grid. We want uniform, even sizes. We don't want anything sticking way out. We don't want anything sunk way down. So those actually look like they came out pretty good. Right, back to here. We're going to put a little bit of flux in there. That's going to spread out nice. Don't put the chip upside down. Right side up is what we want. Now this one should go down way faster than it came up, just because of the different melting temperature of leaded solder paste versus the unleaded stuff it's manufactured with. I don't have to answer to ROHS or any other governing bodies for the materials I put in here, so I'm going to use leaded paste because it's melts faster, it's less hard. You see that? It just dropped right into place. And now it's pinned. Quick. That was a big nudge. I hope I didn't bridge anything with that nudge. That was less gentle than I usually like to nudge. Maybe I'm a little shaky today. A nice big cup of coffee on the way in this morning. Alright, let's turn these off. Bless you, child. Blessed art thou. Amen. Brother John has released his demons in the form of a sneeze. Let us pray. Everybody clap your hands. Oh, what's happening? Okay, well, I was going to get a battery and a dock to start this up, but we'll just use the DC power supply instead. Six plus. Let's keep it family friendly. I haven't committed to foul mouth antics yet. You think it's possible? You think it's possible to go through a work day without cursing?
No.
No. You're probably right. I just want to say I tried, and then.
You spit shot after.
Well,
say that one, then it's all downhill.
But my kid is awesome. He's a great kid. I told him, hey, I'm gonna start streaming to Twitch and YouTube. He's like, really? That's awesome. I'm gonna like and share and subscribe and upvote all your videos. And I'm like, well, it's gonna be kind of an adult thing because I have a really foul mouth at work, and I felt like a jerk. Like I really just took the wind out of his sails because he's really offering to support Dad. So then again, it's not anything he hasn't heard before. He's just not allowed to say the things I say.
Exactly.
So.
So you did figure out how to do it both at the same time? To Twitch and YouTube?
Yeah, using Restream.io. And then I got Twitch saving videos and YouTube saving videos, and I'm recording locally. So these first few are going to be rough. Phone starting. Just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Oh, that's your paperwork for the 6S Plus. Did this thing start up? Oh, it's boot looping. Okay, I'm gonna get a battery and a dock connector. This thing, this little guy, is both awesome and unreliable at the same time somehow. Okay. You buy it. So sometimes the adapter for the DC power supply will start the phone up, no problems, and it'll show, you know, some random percentage, 47 or 75, or... and then other times it'll just boot loop. It just won't want to play nice. Okay, I'm gonna try to move this out of the way. I wish the lens on this webcam was a little bit wider angle. I have to move it back a little bit. See the work area and my beautiful countenance. There we go. Did we get a passcode for this?
One, 2, 0, 7, 1, 6. 12, 0, 7, 16.
1, 6. Okay. Alright, so far. Alright. We got nice motion. All. Ooh, what was that? Is that just being stupid? Yeah, I just went off the edge of the screen. Nice, consistent touch response across the whole grid. Other things to check while you're here. Make sure you didn't mess anything up. Usually don't mess stuff up anymore on the front side, but if you're gonna get some collateral damage, it's gonna be somewhere in the proximity sensor. So I test the front camera and the ear speaker and the proximity sensor itself. So that's another reason to go ahead and start it up with a dock so you can do a voice memo. Check, test. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna switch this to ear speaker because there is no loudspeaker hooked up. I can hear it. We got proximity. Okay. She done. Done. Delete. Don't leave your voice memo on a customer's phone. They probably won't like it, and if they do like it, that's still weird. Alright, this one's going to go back together. Successful iPhone 6 Plus Touch IC repair in I don't know, a couple minutes there. Okay, see you with the next one. Adios.